Hello, beloveds. The founder codes are here. They are fully released now on Earth. Of what I will share here, please always take what is useful and leave the rest without judgment. Before we talk about the codes, it's useful to talk about the founders. The founders are the first light beings of creation. There are 12 of them. You can think of the 12 different founders as different types of founder energy, different races. It doesn't really matter. When I say races, I do not mean in the human term. But each of the 12 founder types has their own unique feeling, style, expressive fingerprint. All of the founder beings are currently involved with the Earth's evolutionary leap. 7 have chosen to return and take human form to support from within the Earth's direct and evolving material expression. They are in human form and also supporting the human evolutionary leap, which tracks with Earth's. The founder codes are the light codes, the energetic codes, the resonances, the information packets, the full and complete energetics of the original founders, both of creation and specifically of Earth. These have not been fully available for many eons on Earth. As Earth has moved into greater and greater density, and various things have occurred along the way which have hidden or broken access to these codes. Now the founder codes are here, and they are fully released for access by all. What does this mean for humanity and for the Earth? It means that Earth will now be accessing all of its source material, source information, source energetics to continue to move forward in its shifts and evolution, and that this information is also now available to all of the beings on Earth. The ramifications of this for humans are so beautiful, and it is going to show up like a quickening, an acceleration of many different new discoveries or awarenesses or understandings which may happen within the individual human being, and it will also be seen through new inventions and discoveries of how things work, generally speaking. These are going to be things related to understanding the nature of reality, the nature of the biochemical, bioelectrical reality of the human experience, how the world works, energetics, how that works, many different advances that we may also see related to technology will come through, and it will be a beautiful thing to look to. There are ramifications also for other beings that are on Earth or associated with the Earth realm and have been here longer than humanity. Some of these I am in closer contact with as a human than others. I will give you an example of the She, the original Fae. These are light beings, star beings, that chose to come here and support Earth as a child being, as a baby planet, if you will. And they were here with the original seeding of much of the earthen and plant and mineral and animal kingdoms, if you will, and they loved the earth. And they still love the earth. And they have been here from the beginning. And they have spawned many different types of what you might think of as fae or fairy, or many other different words and languages that our various human cultures have imposed on top of these different kinds of spirits and beings that exist within and around Earth. Some of the Sidhe, this word, if you're not familiar with it, is spelled Sidhe. Some of the Sidhe chose to stay here with Earth when the time came that the density of Earth would become too great for the full connection with the founder codes and the various other realms in creation to be maintained. And this meant that they were then, in essence, stuck here of their own free will to support. The founder codes being here mean now that these Sidhe are free to move about all of creation to different non-Earth-based realms or planets or places in creation. All of the dimensions are available in any location, realm, place, but travel to other places has been restricted. And for the Sidhe, this restriction is now removed. So those of you as humans who are very connected to these realms that are not much seen or understood by humans because they have chosen to not come fully down into the current density of the human collective and are therefore difficult, if not impossible, for humans to see or be aware of or be in communication with. You may find now that there is increased access for you to these beings that have been with you all along here, doing their things, supporting the plants and the mountains and the waters and the minerals and the animals and the sea life and the water life everywhere. And in some cases, also supporting the humans, although this is not their core interest. So you may now find that there is new and expanded connection with them and from them. And I hope that you will delight in this, as they will if they choose to make it available to you. For the humans interested in accessing these founder codes, it is useful to know that the founder codes will now be spreading and are spreading throughout the earth and throughout the human collective, regardless of whether or not a human is aware of this in a conscious way. This does not mean that these codes do anything to a human who does not express free will-based desire to have this information expanded within them, but it is not necessary to use specific types of language or mental models for humans to access this. Any human interested in supporting and expanding their heart, their connection, that is plenty. That is enough. And many listening to this will be those who have a more nuanced understanding of the language and the different mental models and will be interested to know more. And I will share it now. there are humans on the planet representing and holding the codes of the 7 founder beings that were here for the initial Earth creation. There are more than 7 humans holding these codes. I am one of these humans. Each of the 7 types, if you will, are marked by different types of experiences and typicalities in human form over various lifetimes while here as humans. And of the founder type that I am, it is very difficult for our energies, it has been, to be human. And so the experience has been very much marked for our founder type of having an extraordinarily difficult time making it through human adolescence. Many chose to leave during that time period as humans, whether through accidents or suicide or other means. Now, the humans that are still here, the founders that are still here in human form, now their primary function awakens to a new level in which they will serve as something like transmitter towers or radio towers, transmitting out the energetics and information and light of these founder codes for all of the planet. And so these humans, who are these radio towers, are located around the planet. And they have been transmitting these codes since the codes were first fully released here, which was recently as I record this. The work for the humans transmitting the founder codes now is very much to anchor in and support the capacity within the human to handle, if you will, and increase their capacity to hold and transmit at greater and greater frequencies, or like electrical currents is a image that comes to mind. Being able to have wiring that can handle a greater boost, like a transmitter tower or a radio tower, having stronger and stronger capacity for farther and farther reach. It is very possible for humans who are these founder energies to not have conscious awareness that this is their role. But you may hear this and feel very connected to it and feel very suddenly aware of, oh, this is what I have been waiting for. This is the activation that helps it all make sense now to my human brain, to my human awareness. And for others who have other roles, if you will, to play and experiences to create, they can now access this, and it will mean rapid accelerations in vision, and I mean vision not about eyesight, I mean vision in understanding and crafting vision for now. What is it that you are creating, that you are wanting to create? New creations, new projects, new inventions, new ways of being in the world and in your life. As people become more and more connected to these energies within themselves, they will naturally move away from or turn away from inputs in their life that generate or attempt to generate fear, which can occur in any different way or look like any different sort of story, if you will. This has nothing to do with political systems, etc., in terms of what the humans usually think of as political divisions. That is another thing. This is just very much about fear, the prime fear strand that still wants to retain its grip on humanity and on the planet. And this will no longer be possible. But it will take time for the material experience and material expression of our true selves as planet, as beings, as humans, to be able to fully function without fear, to have fear entirely removed. It is necessary for this, at a collective and planetary scale, to be a slower process than a simple snapping of the fingers, because the design for Earth and for humanity's evolutionary leap is for Earth and humanity to hold within us the founder codes and the access to all that is within them, all the way back to source, creation, God, divinity, love, 0 point, whatever your mental model is, it does not matter. To be able to hold all of that while remaining embodied in this form. So we are removing the requirement of death and rebirth, of death at all as a necessary portal to return home to source. And in fact, it is our job now, it is our delightful task to expand our access to an experience of an expression of home, of creation, of love, of source, here, now, in and from this body. As I've shared before, some of the phases of this human EvoLEAP include the expansion of capacity to receive light and use it as a resource and convert it into a resource within the human being, like a sort of human photosynthesis. And so now with these founder codes now being completely released and available on the planet, there is even greater and more rapid access to more light, and easier and easier and easier as every moment occurs to convert that light into resource within the human experience. And then, in the next phase, to then be able to transmit that back out. And I don't just mean now how the founders are transmitting. I mean for any and all to be able to then be transmitting the unique to your portal as a being light. So there is the original source light, if you will, that comes into you and remains in what your beingness creates as it converts it into resource, if you will. Then transmitting out that light, it has now been made uniquely yours, still containing within it the core spark of that divine original source point. And so this beautiful, beautiful light that you will shine out, this sort of human bioluminescence, you are this lighthouse. And you will be, or radio tower, and you will be boosting your capacity to shine brighter and greater and farther. And all of the lighthouses around the planet, as this boosting occurs, will bring light into places where there has been only darkness. And as a collective and as individuals, there will be experiences that will be briefly disturbing when light comes into dark places, and dark things are then seen. It is most important for those of us who are spreading this light, supporting the spreading of this light, to remain firm, rooted within our access to the light, our access to the founder codes, our access to the 0 point, and to not be knocked off of that rootedness, to not be unrooted as we experience our own human level shock or dismay or other negative, difficult feelings about what is seen as light comes into the darkness. This is a temporary phase, but is required. So think of yourself like a tree. As you transmit your light out, ensure that your roots are very firmly planted in the ground. Remember that for most plant or tree beings, the root system vastly outsizes what is seen above the soil. Tend to those roots. Send them deep within the earth. Teach them how to be always open to the beautiful earth energies now coming up from within earth, as the founder codes have unlocked for earth new supports and lights and energetics and resonances and energies to transmit out for the support of the rest of the beings on the planet's leap forward. And then when the light comes into dark places, and it is a difficult moment, the tree may bend and sway and even thrash about like in even a hurricane, but its root system and its trunk will be strong, and it will not perish. It will not fall over. It will not crack and be destroyed by that hurricane wind. It will stand, and it will provide shelter for those who need it during the storm. And the storm will pass, and the light will shine again, and the tree will be beloved as a place of safety and shelter and sanctity and holder of light and a converter of light into energy, into resource. So please understand this as your primary task now. And as you organize your lives, you will find that a redesign will start calling at you if it has not already, because it is necessary to redesign your life to align with what you uniquely will need in your life experience in the day-to-day, as well as in the larger cycles of your life, in order to support this work, this sacred work. And when you are supporting yourself to do this work, it is when you will feel the greatest satisfaction and enjoyment in your human experience, which creates a positive feedback loop with your capacity to boost your signal. In the past, I have spoken about boosting your signal from the perspective of being able to receive more and more. Now, I want you to understand this is a two-way signal, and it is both about expanding your capacity to receive and intake new awarenesses, new light, new resources, new energies, and to then share and send it back out. And it is not necessary for you to put that light that you are sharing out into any material form. It is unnecessary to do this. You may find that you are called to do this, and your human systems, your brain and your nervous system and other aspects of your human systems may find that it is most happy when it is also bringing this light into form in some way, in which case, please delight in it. Please pursue that, and pursue all things that delight you. This is so important. What delights you? Where would you like to devote yourself? And so we will see in the next 12 to 18 months as I record this, which is May 4th, 2021, a huge expansion for many beings around the earth, for many humans around the earth, with new visionaries rising up, with new plans, with new supports and resources being offered in the world, which will be so needed. Everyone is needed to come into their next phase of how they want to live and express themselves in alignment with this beautiful new light, this beautiful new energetics for life. Please understand that there is an important harmony, an important balance within you of the energies from above, if you will, the cosmic energies coming into the planet, and the energies coming from within the planet to the human system. The human system requires the both and of this. And so tending to your roots and bringing in the new energies and lights and supports from Earth is just as important as bringing it in from the cosmic or the divine. Do not lose yourself only out in the stars. Root yourself in the earth. You chose to be here for this reason at this time. Honor that. Surrender and swim in the way in which your biology expresses the deep sacred current of life force. Connect and communicate with your biology in expanding and new ways. Support it in whatever way feels possible for you. Bring no judgment or shame to how you are doing this or how you have done it before. It is not useful. Already human science is just beginning to understand that the mental models for how the human biology works are so wrong, are so rudimentary, and not yet seeing the true nature of the interconnection between the physical and the non-material, between matter and energy. There is, for example, new research demonstrating conclusively the nature of an entirely distributed, non-centralized bioelectrical system at the cellular level, which is dictating form, dictating the form, the matter of the being. Our old mental models have had this to be highly centralized. and this is just incorrect. It's just one example of many, all beautiful things to come. I will provide additional information in another recording about biology supports, but we'll just say this much here. Bring into your day-to-day as much as you are able and comfortable support for your body around circulation to increase circulatory capacity. So this can just be moving even a little bit more. Bring in as much plant-based nutrition as you can, which is not to say you should only be eating plants. There is no specific sole way of eating that is correct for all of the humans. You find your own way. Simply include and increase, where appropriate, that ratio, if you will, of plants. Learn to walk barefoot on the earth more often. Find ways to do this. And bring in methods to continually be lightly detoxing and occasionally intensively detoxing your biological systems. One of the very fun new things with the founder codes being here that is now available for us is this ability to pluck from other timelines or lifetimes that we experience habits that more align with how we are now choosing and will choose to be. So this is a very fun new thing to just simply, and it doesn't have to be through some big arduous process, just to simply connect in deep within to self and say, oh, I remember that timeline or that life experience in which I did ABC behavior and habit easily all the time. And that was lovely and wonderful. And I choose to bring that into this timeline and body now. And just choose it. And then don't put yourself into the old linear model of like, okay, now I'm going to let the brain take over and create a big plan and a matrix and a checklist and, just be it in the moment. And, just take it kind of the sort of one moment at a time, one day at a time. You will be surprised at this feeling. It is a fun opportunity. There are many others like this. These are just the ones that are coming through for today to share. Enjoy the founder codes. Enjoy bringing them in for yourself. Enjoy sharing back out to the world as they increase your own capacities to do so. It is a magical and delightful time to be here. The chaos in human society, this will be the slowest to recede as we move forward. So be where you feel called to be, and remember to tend to your roots so that you will be the mighty oak in any storm, so that you won't even feel the storm. The storms will not be so great that your mighty oak can't withstand them easily. That time is past. The time of those kinds of storms is over. You are fully and entirely safe now. You are fully and entirely free to focus on the delightfulness of your own expression of the divine, of source, of creation, of the deep sacred current of life force, of the all of all. It is all here now. Enjoy it. I love you.